Hi guys, this is Brad from Located, a brand new blog out of BCIT's new media and web development program. We're here to make travelers and expats find their home no matter where they happen to be located. Today, I'd like to talk about one of my favorite cities in Europe, Prague in the Czech Republic. First things first, I absolutely love Prague and have zero legitimate complaints about my time living there. Also, I only really lived there for about 6 months, so I'm no expert. Anything that I say is the worst is coming from a place of being a spoiled North American and are just minor inconveniences, which is actually part of the reason why I find the city so charming. So here it is, a list of the 4 best and 4 worst things about living in Prague. One of the best things, the architecture. Coming from Vancouver, Canada, I'm used to some beautiful scenery, but our buildings are pretty bland. But in Prague, you're not going to find too many shiny new high-rises. It's all old school Baroque, Art Nouveau, and Gothic, with one weird Frank Gehry building for good measure. There's a lot of history behind everything. Where I lived, in the hip neighborhood of Žižkov, bright colors turned even the most dilapidated structures into a treat for the eyes. One of the worst, complicated doors. The vintage architecture may be pretty sweet, but it's not always the most practical. I'm willing to look past the lack of elevators because I like the exercise and those spiral staircases are pretty cool, but I don't understand why the doors need to be so confusing. When you move into an apartment, they give you a set of like 6 crazy keys, and if you're like me, you'll spend countless hours trying to figure out how you possibly could penetrate one of these giant heavy doors. Another one of the best, the food. The Czechs might not be known for their terrific cuisine, but if you like meats and breads, buckle up, or actually, unbuckle up, because you're going to be packing on the pounds with all these delicious meat dishes. Goulash, svichkova, and plenty of bread dumplings. They're all very tasty. You can get them at any local pub, which are on pretty much every street corner, and they're always affordable and big servings. One of the worst things, the vegetarian options. While the food may be delicious, if you're not a meat eater, you may be in for a rough time. At traditional Czech restaurants, meat is almost always the main course, and every place I went to only had one vegetarian option, a plate of fried cheese. That's it, just a plate of different types of fried cheeses with some tartar sauce for dipping them. So if you're a vegan, you might want to just eat at home. Best, the dogs. An unexpected highlight of the city for me was Prague's well-behaved dogs. Man's best friend reigns supreme in the Czech Republic, and every one of these pooches seemed to know their way around the streets better than I did. It's very rare that you'll see a dog misbehaving there, because these guys are so well trained that when their owner goes into the grocery store, they'll just sit outside and read a newspaper and wait for him. And if you head up to Letna Park, that's a dog watcher's paradise. Worst, the transit police. While seeing dogs casually ride the bus was a daily highlight for me, the looming presence of the police definitely wasn't. In Vancouver, our SkyTrain now has turnstiles, so you rarely need to be worried about being accosted by the police. But in Prague, it always seems like somebody is on your tail, because for some weird reason, the transit police don't wear uniforms. I saw a tourist get their passport taken away from them by some guy in street clothes. That doesn't seem very fun to me. The final best, the cheap beer. One of the first things you'll probably learn upon your entry into the country is the astonishing fact that beer is cheaper than water. At a regular Prague pub, a pint of beer is just $1, while bottled water is $2. Compare this going to an NHL hockey game in Vancouver, where it costs $18 for a single beer. In Prague, you can have a pint of Pilsner for a fraction of that price. This cheap, delicious beer is no doubt one of the reasons that Prague has one of the best nightlives in the world, and their hockey crowds are amazing. And finally, the worst, the cheap beer. As much as I like beer, my wimpy North American constitution doesn't seem to be able to handle the volume of alcohol that the Czech people drink. While staying sober during the week, or taking a weekend off, might seem like an affront to their national culture, I just couldn't keep up. Paying twice as much for bottled water at the pub may be difficult to stomach, but if you want to survive as an expat in Prague, you might want to do your liver a favor and take a break anyway. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed it. That's my list. Let me know in the comments what your favorite European city is, and if you've been to Prague, let me know if there's any other things that are the best and the worst. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also like us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Thanks a lot. Until next time, goodbye.